All right, tuned in. You're taking pictures?
Kinda.
Okay, good.
Are we still doing this show?
Cash. Los Angeles. Rock and roll. My money.
When will they stop?
Well, now, Long Beach, clear skies. And now, on with the show.
We have a very special edition of Mornings on the Beach this morning. Good morning. My name is Danny Lemos, along with my co-hosts,
Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
And we are out on location.
How do you like
promised
that?
it a lot.
Wow.
I love it.
We are at Alder and Sage, right here near the corner of 4th and Cherry. And we're here for a very special reason. And there's so many different things to talk about today. But we're going to first talk about the art theater. And we're going to do a little history. We're going to get talking about some of their philanthropic stuff that they do in the community.
For you to say.
I don't think it's early. And we're outdoors with folks, so we hope maybe some people will join in from the courtyard here. But today on the show, please welcome, we've got Jan Van Dijs right here. And Jan is the owner of the Art Theater.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
I'm happy. And we've got Kirk Jordan, if you want to just...
Hi there.
He's the board president for the Art Theater of Long Beach Board.
Nice to be here.
And we have some other folks hopefully will be joining us, but let's get into it right now. I wanted to start today by bringing to your attention, if you haven't found out already on social media, there is a new podcast dropping today, and I'm a part of it. I was the producer for We've Never Done This Before podcast, sponsored by Studio 111. The very first episode includes some of the folks that we're going to speak to today. Kastiner is also featured on the podcast, and it's the story of Retro Row. And it's a really dynamic story. If you haven't heard about how that came to be, it's on Spotify. Just search for We've Never Done This Before podcast.
Oh.
And it's episode 1, Retro Row. So that drops today. So it's a perfect time to be right out here, right off Retro Row, a few yards anyway, and talk to the folks about the art theater. And so one of the things that I learned during that production of that podcast was that the art theater had been renovated by somebody that was still around, and that's why we invited Jan. Jan, so tell me how you first came to Long Beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's go way back.
I came to Long Beach in 1990, and I had moved to California. I didn't know anywhere or any place. And initially I had moved to Irvine, California, and I didn't really care for it. But I was from Tampa, Florida, and at some point I drove into Long Beach. Actually, the first time I came was to go to Acres of Books, and I liked it. And so it was a harbor town. It has a port. It has an ocean boulevard. It had a very similar feel to me as Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
And so I connected immediately with the city, and then I found a place and moved here.
That's great. And so tell me about your first impressions of this street, because obviously that you didn't move here to renovate the art theater, but that happens.
Right.
Right. So tell me how you got there.
So I came to this street much later than Kasten did, but I knew of it. I would come here from now. It was still evolving a lot 20 years ago. Probably
Right.
The first time I came to this street was 25 years ago. It was still really evolving, but Portfolio was here, and Meow was here, and there was a lot of interesting creative shops here, but there was still a lot of people resided in the storefronts. They weren't all active businesses.
Artists, right?
Artist studios, kind of live work stuff going on. It was a little bit of but it was fun and it was interesting. But it definitely had a ways to go. The art theater was there. I remember seeing a number of films over the years at the art.
At that time, what did it look like?
It was pretty run down. It was a mishmash inside of different seats, and the lobby was pretty run down. I mean, the bones were still there. I mean, you could clearly see something of interest that was fantastic, but It
The
had
seats
had
were
some-
so uncomfortable. That I remember. The
heating
seats
didn't
were
work.
terrible.
It was cold in the wintertime. They would
Yeah.
give blankets out because
No kidding.
because there was no air conditioning, really, and there was no heat
Wild.
for sure. They used to have cats running through the theater because of the rats. And I'm allergic to cats. So there was there were issues. But I still recall seeing a number of films there over the years.
Okay.
Um,
So did you just one day find out it was for sale, or how did that happen? Like go into the
So-
theater business, right?
I was fixing up old buildings in Long Beach with a very, very good friend of mine, Mark Vidor. And he was a real Long Beach guy. And so we were just kind of doing it for a little bit of fun. We would find these old buildings. I loved fixing them up. He loved just being involved in the process. He was a dentist, so it gave him a creative outlet. So at some point, somebody approached us and said, hey, you guys are fixing up old buildings. Why don't you, I can remember the moment we first discussed it, why don't you fix up the art theater? It's for sale.
What was your first thought when they said that to you? It's got cats in it.
I don't think I was all that interested, but Mark was really interested.
Okay.
Because he loved music. That was his thing. And he loved the art theater because he had been going there since he was a kid. So he was excited. And then he got me excited. That was the way sometimes it worked, sometimes in reverse. So we thought, all right. But we knew nothing.
What was the first thing you learned?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what was the biggest tackle that you had to do?
So I think I was so hyper-focused on the restoration, I didn't really take the time to understand the business. And Mark was so hyper-focused on finally having a music venue under his control that he didn't really think about the business either. I mean, we're just two guys who just thought this is the
Right.
coolest thing in the world, and we somehow were able to pull it off.
Yeah.
And so it came out, I think, really nice, and the community was incredibly receptive, but we really didn't understand the business when we opened literally from day one. We had a film booker who was very helpful, but we were also in a period of nonstop transition for the industry.
That's true, huh?
We were going from, I mean, when we opened the theater, we were still advertising in the local paper. We were still giving coupons for free popcorn in the Beachcomber. And all of that was about to change. We just had no idea.
Were you running the theater when you took over? Was the theater running, and did you ever have to shut it down for any period of time?
We shut it down for 8 months.
Okay.
So we bought the theater from Howard Lynn. Howard Lynn is an interesting guy. He was a film professor, Cal State, and he bought the theater, I think, in the 60s. And he and his wife ran the theater until we purchased it from them. He was a passionate film guy. He had a passionate following. He really knew art films, really knew them.
Yeah, when I was going to Long Beach State in the 70s, they held a class there during that period of time, and I attended the class. And I do remember the horrible seats.
Yeah.
They were absolutely horrible. And but it was a great venue for that sort of a thing. We had guests that would come down. Ron Howard came down.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Various people came down that brought their films and spoke to the class.
Howard Lynn was, like I said, a fascinating guy. He knew his stuff. The seats in 2008, by the way, were the same seats in the 70s. They never changed.
no
So
kidding.
can
No
you
doubt.
imagine what they were like
By then, yeah.
30 years later?
But that was always the spot to go see Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
Wherein everybody would jump all over the seats and thrash everything. I remember that being one of the dilemmas, was like, why redo it when the kids go in? I was one of the kids at the time, going in and thrashing the seats.
When we removed the seats finally, there was probably 50 pounds of rice shoved in.
No doubt.
Spilling out down the theater. That was left over from Rocky Horror.
So when did the official reopening happen?
I can remember it was, I believe, the first week of September, for sure, I think September 7 or 10, I wish I
year?
could tell you the exact. And we opened with a film called Man on Wire, which was a documentary.
remember
know it
that.
well.
Yeah.
And it was a terribly exciting time.
Oh, that's great.
You know, pins and needles, because we were so quick to having finished the renovation. We really didn't have time to fully test everything. You know, we went basically through one run through the day before. We had a delay with getting our power. And we turned on everything, tested the speakers, tested the screen. Okay, this all looks great. And then we had 400 people in the theater the next day.
Wow.
So it was a
Fantastic.
bit of it was funny, but it went great, and we had a really great first season.
That's fantastic. We're talking to the owner of the Art Theater. Jan van Dijs is with us. And we're doing this special today on the Art Theater and all the things it brings to our community. As part of our Community Voices project, we're out in the street. We're out at Alder and Sage recording
Yes.
live, which is why you hear all the
lovely
sounds you
here.
hear, the motorcycles and the dogs. And we just take a quick little break for some music. And if Mike would give us there.
Well, I think this is an appropriate tune to play since we're talking about the Art Theater. Here's the Kinks and Celluloid Heroes.
Mornings on the beach and our very, very special live special. We're out at Alder and Sage. We told you we were going to be leaving the studio, and now we are out in public. Melanie's here with me. Mike Stark is here with me as well, and we're with Jan van Dijs and Kirk Jordan from the Art Theater of Long Beach. You mentioned portfolio, and most people that are listening may not know that your wife Kasdan was the impetus behind portfolio, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Where did you guys meet?
We actually met because of the Art Theater.
No kidding.
So she was obviously active on 4th Street, and we had purchased the theater, and so she wanted to know what was going on, and she's not to be denied when she wants to know what's going on.
True that.
I gotta tell you, yeah, a long history there, and now also she's moved over to Alder and Sage because portfolio. If you drive by, it's empty. And right across the street from there, across Uniborough, is your place, your design firm.
Yeah.
And were you doing that at the same time, or did that happen after the Art Theater renovation? Were you also involved in other projects, or just the Art Theater first?
Oh no, that's my day job.
Yeah. And so you tell a little bit about what you helped do. I know that you've been involved in a lot of renovations and a lot of different additions to the landscape of the community.
Yeah, thanks. Well, basically what we try to do is we try to be a design and support studio for small businesses here in Long Beach. Mm-hmm. We prefer to work in Long Beach, and we really try to focus on this area. Sometimes we work out of the city, but I try to stay close to home as possible. And our focus has always been small business. Offices, restaurants, coffee shops, theaters.
Yeah.
We're grateful for it, by the way.
Yeah, no, I saw a great
Yeah.
design for, if you've seen the corner of Cherry and Broadway,
Yeah.
that old liquor store, I saw the designs your company put together to attract a new owner to get some business in there. To get
Yeah,
a
so
vendor.
we're working on that, and we finalized the permit with the city, and it looks great. I think that's moving forward. It's been a little bit of a process, and sometimes it is with these old buildings.
Right.
It's not easy to turn them around. There's a lot of sometimes conditions associated, or seismic, or all these things, but we think we're pretty good at it, and we love working with the people that we do work with. Who we feel we're just the first step in the process. It's really about these business owners that take it and they really go somewhere with it, like this place, and create a sense of community, which is a magnifier.
Yeah. And while I have you and pinned you down, could you turn the old Rite Aid into maybe a food barn with all these different restaurants? It'd be awesome. I want one of those
like
in Long Beach. I want one of those.
An
It's a little
upscale food court.
We have plans for that place, but nobody's asking us.
Yeah, of course.
Trader Joe's. I've heard a lot of people want a Trader Joe's.
I wanted to ask, you spent all this time restoring the Art Theater, the aesthetics of it, the way it looked and all of that. What sort of things did you put into it technically? Did you to
that's a
upgrade
good
the film
Yeah.
stuff?
So that's an interesting question. So in terms of the building itself, we had to redo everything. The power was not sufficient, the air conditioning, the heating,
Oh, my.
plumbing, everything in terms of the building was redone.
Gotcha.
But when we actually opened the theater, we kept the same projector, which was a Frankenstein of parts going back to the 1930s.
Oh.
So projector technology, when we opened the theater, had not changed in 60 years significantly.
Right.
So the base of our projector was still the original base going back, like I said.
Wow.
And the carriage of the projector was probably from the 60s, could have been from the 50s, and the components were designed so they could easily be changed out, a sprocket or a spindle.
Uh-huh.
And the only thing that was a substantial upgrade that had been done probably in the 70s or 80s was they had done what's called a platter system. Prior to that, and it was still there, so when we
Right.
bought the theater, there was a toilet sitting in the middle of the projection room, right there. And there were 2 projectors. The old one they just had never gotten rid of, but how they did it back in the day was they had a 20 to 30-minute reel, and they would load it up on
Right.
2 projectors. And you guys might remember this. Going way back, you would watch a film, and you'd see those little dots
Oh,
on the
yeah,
screen.
those little- on the right-hand
Of
So
course,
side.
that
yeah.
was for the projector to know hit the switch and start the other projection. So they would go back. If it was a 2-hour film, they might have to change back and forth to the 2 different projectors, which are angled in together 4
Wow.
to 6 times.
Wow.
So he couldn't leave.
So that's why the toilet was there.
That's why the toilet was there. And what was
That's funny.
and what was also there, that's still there, was a fire slam door. So there was a fusible link. Celluloid film was highly flammable.
Yeah. Ooh.
And so if there was a fire, he had seconds to get out before that
Oh,
door
my.
slammed shut.
Right.
And so obviously that's not the case now. And even when we were no longer using cellular film. So when we took possession of the theater, there were 2 cameras still.
Yeah.
Only one which was functioning because once they installed the platter system at some point, they loaded all the film on one continuous reel.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you first started with this old equipment, was it like touch and go? When you started a show every time, was it like, or was it pretty reliable?
It was pretty reliable. That doesn't mean that we didn't have issues. It was old technology.
Sure.
The light bulbs were very expensive and they would burn out for all different reasons. And there was 8, so you could lose 1 or 2 and still be okay. But if you got, if it was more than that, it was a problem.
So what do you have now?
We have a digital system.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
What happened to the old one? Did you make a water fountain out of it?
I saved the parts and moved them and moved them and moved them and moved them. At some point, I don't know what happened to them.
We're the same way with old radio stuff. Why are we keeping this? That's awesome.
That's a
We're
great
here
story.
at Alder and Sage talking with Jan Van Dijs, who is the owner of the Art Theater, about that. Now, at some point, the Art Theater becomes nonprofit.
That's right.
Is that because you weren't making any money? Or that wasn't your original intention with it, was it?
Well, I think I've already said this. We didn't know what our original intention was. we really didn't.
That's great.
But at some point, it became obvious that a for-profit movie theater, single-house movie theater, was a really bad idea.
Yeah.
So the theater had lost money every year, and at that point, we just thought, look, and it was a lot of work to run. And at that point, Kasten was more and more in the picture, and I think her influence was this should be really more of a community asset.
Wow.
And at that point, we decided it should go from a for-profit that lost money to a non-profit that
Right.
lost money. It didn't seem like much of a change at the time.
It's all just paperwork.
Yeah.
at
It's
that
all
point.
just paperwork.
And that is really the theater that you know now. If you're from Long Beach and you've been around, it's a nonprofit thing. And but we'll get into the story of how that changed when we meet Kirk Jordan at the end of our start of our next segment. But in the meantime, let's play a little music here.
So this is an oldie but a goodie, but kind of a good theme. We're keeping on the movie theme. The Drifters did a song in the 50s called Saturday Night at the Movies. Okay.
What a great song that was.
Yeah. That's the Drifters and Saturday Night at the Movies. And we're kind of doing the movies
We are.
type of theme today.
Today, our theme is the Art Theater of Long Beach. This is Mornings on the Beach, your Saturday, Sunday infotainment show for KLBP. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
Melanie Ray.
And with us, we have Kirk Jordan, the president of the Art Theater of Long Beach board.
The board, yes.
So, were you enrolled in the project from the very beginning, or?
No, I came to the art management team about, I guess, just under 5 years ago. So I've been a resident of the neighborhood for 30 years. So I've lived in the same place over on Hermosa and 2nd since 1997.
No kidding.
So I remember the art back in the day when it was, as Jan described, all the bad seats and
Yeah.
questionable characters, if you want to call it.
And
But,
cats.
Yeah,
Who
but
knew
you know,
that one?
we still came there. We still
Oh,
would go
yeah.
to the theater.
Absolutely.
I was there all the time
I
because
kinda-
of the films.
Yeah, I kind of like that atmosphere. Actually, yeah, I don't know if you know the New Beverly Theater up in
Yeah, of course.
up in L.A. on Beverly. When I was up in L.A. in the early '90s, that was the place to go. They would show double features, like 2 Clint Eastwood movies, and it was $5 for the whole night or whatever. So I like that kind of thing because you just get to watch movie after movie.
So, were you a fan of the movie theater before you got involved in it?
Yeah, I was. So I have my background is I actually was a working actor in Hollywood in the late '80s, early '90s for about 7 years. Just kind of a D-level career, but I made a living at it, and then moved to Long Beach, just kind of on a whim because visited here, and then started teaching. I had started teaching school as a substitute because every starving actor needs a side gig, right? So I started doing substitute teaching up in L.A., elementary school, and I just fell in love with it. So then, back then, I was offered a full-time gig teaching 3rd grade in Los Angeles Unified, and I accepted and did that for the next 20-plus years before I retired.
So, how did they find you for the board of directors? Was it your passion?
Yeah, my other kind of side hustle is I play music. So I had a regular residency at 4th Street Vine, which is just up the street here on 4th Street. So every Monday night I hosted a show, and so we had a couple of the art theater board members would come in for drinks, and we'd met each other and knew each other and everything. And they knew about my movie background and my love of movies. And so over the course of several years, I guess about 2000 and whatever that would have been, 2021, they asked me to join the board. They were expanding the board. And I said yes. And that's where I started off. So about 5 years ago.
So, tell me about what the nonprofit does, and it's important its importance to the community.
It is. So, as a teacher, I believe that arts education is very, very important to kids especially. So this kind of, for me, comes from that. So I saw arts education being kind of dismantled in the years I was teaching.
All the years.
Yeah, I mean,
Seems like all the years. Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember when you had music class every day, you had art class every day, you had whatever.
Me too.
And then as I was teaching, kids still had that in the late 90s, and then it kind of went away as the focus on testing and standardized test scores took over. The arts kind of, we don't need that anymore because we don't test on the arts.
Right. That was No
Right?
Child Left Behind about 2000.
No Child Left Behind.
They
And
started cutting all that.
Children were left behind, by the way,
Absolutely.
just as a side note.
I'm a teacher, too.
I know. So I always tried to keep the arts, and for me, music especially, alive in elementary schools. So that kind of transferred over to my love of cinema as well. And so I just believe, as a nonprofit, it's part of our mission to bring arts exposure to people that might not normally get that.
Right.
Whether it's kids, could be adults, whatever. So we open up the space not only to show movies, but we host other nonprofit organizations, festivals. We have special events. We're trying to branch out into music a little bit more. Community discussions. We have panel discussions based on certain films. Yeah,
they're great.
Yeah, so that's, for me, I feel the arts is an integral part of any culture, and so that's, for me, one of the art theater's biggest missions.
What was the designer that recently brought his film, his documentary here? The fashion designer. What was
Bob Mackey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Came to the Bob Mackey
Bob
event.
Mackey was there, yeah.
And then all of a sudden there was a rumble from the back of the room, turned around, and there he was.
Yeah, amazing.
I was amazed at that.
Yeah, one of the great designers of all time. He did all of Cher's clothes and Carol Burnett and all these Hollywood stars for, I don't know, 60
and I went because the movie was great.
Yeah. Oh, it was
then
great.
to get him to speak, that was awesome. That's great.
And we've had other events recently. We had the band Red Cross for a Q&A last year. They kind of revitalized their career, and they're still out on tour, I think. A couple of local guys from Hawthorne, right?
Right.
They used to come to Long Beach back in the day. So we had their documentary, which just came out last year, called Born Innocent. And Jeff and Steve McDonald, the brothers, along with Andrew Reich, the director, who was an old writer that worked on Friends for many years. He was the director, and they came and we did a panel discussion and had questions from the audience.
Great.
So, yeah, there was a packed house that night.
How many
Super
people
cool.
are on the board?
So there are 10 of us on the board.
Busy.
And when I joined, it was just a 5-person board. So over the years, we've expanded. One of our ideas is we want to bring in more diverse voices, as it were. And I don't want to discriminate against my age, but I know it's important for us to bring some younger board members in too, which we've done, who can really speak to a generation we're trying to get back into the movie theater.
I mean, there are people that have born in 2010 that have never probably been into a movie theater. And
and
it's an experience.
It is. And we also have an elementary school right next to us.
That's true.
On 4th Street. And we did a free screening for them of a movie called Dog Man, which was an animated movie that came out last year.
How cool.
And I happen to know the director who came in and did a Q&A with the little kids.
Oh.
And it was pretty spectacular.
Those books are so popular with kids. They love them.
And they had some amazing questions for the director. You know, they wanted to know the technical side of how do you animate this, and do you use computers?
Really?
It was fantastic.
Super cool.
So we had opened up that to not just the kids in the school, but also any neighborhood parents or other age kids that wanted to come. We just threw the doors open. And
You know, I helped arrange a couple viewings at the Art with bilingual ASL English movies. So like Super Deafy. It was a bilingual movie, and we showed that at the Art.
Right.
And we had booths set up from the deaf community and brought a bunch of deaf people in to watch the movies. And normally it's not part, that's...
And
it's nice for something that small to be open to that community.
Yeah, and
they were welcomed.
We've carried that on because we have one show every week that's special for closed captioning, where we show the movie as a closed caption movie.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it's open caption. It's on the screen.
Yeah, it's open caption.
Oh, I didn't know that. That should be
name.
advertised more.
I need that.
Good point.
Yeah, that should be advertised
I
more.
know.
Because normally when they close caption, big theaters have closed caption devices, and you hear from the deaf community that they don't work, or they're delayed, or they this. So if it's open caption on the screen, then there's no that tech issue.
Again,
That's
you're
cool.
right. We should publicize that some more.
So that's part of our kind of mission, is to be available and accessible to anybody, right?
Yeah.
We
How do people
obviously welcome everyone there.
If somebody's there and just heard that, we'd love to have an event, how would they get in touch with you?
I'm sorry, say that again?
How do they find out about getting involved with their having an event there?
Yeah, well, we have a great website, arttheaterlongbeach.org.
Hold on.
And also, we've got
Sorry, hold on.
some response from the canine crowd, too.
We do, so might as well include it. Go ahead, say that again. One
Yeah,
more.
so we have a great website. It was just redesigned called Art Theater Long Beach, and we spell theater the English way, R-E at the end instead of
so fancy.
ER.
Wondered myself.
arttheaterlongbeach.org. And that has all the information on our upcoming shows, our history. We rent the venue for private events. We open it up to other nonprofits at a much reduced rate, so they
great.
can do their events there. Yeah,
We might take advantage of that.
Yeah.
should,
We should
yeah.
make a movie. Right. Well, we're going to get into one of the biggest events that happens every single year on the other side of our break here in a minute, and that is the Oscar party that happens every year. If I can use the word Oscar, I'm not sure if it's...
you can. I don't think they'll come in and haul us away. So.
In the meantime, let's...
Yeah, we got another movie-related
I love it.
theme tune from Steely Dan and Showbiz Kids.
I haven't heard that in a long
Love
time.
that song.
Wonderful. All right. We set into...
Had to edit the F word out of it.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Come on, this is public radio.
Yeah, well, now there are people listening, so we might get a
No, I know.
complaint. All right, here we go again. It's Mornings on the Beach, our art theater special recording live here at Alder and Sage. We're sitting around a table, enjoying each other's company, talking about one of the iconic buildings on Retro Row here in Long Beach, getting out amongst the community. And we've invited Kirk Jordan to join us. The board president is with us. I'm Danny Lemos.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Melanie Ray.
As always with you. And as I teased before the song, we have one of the biggest events coming up in March, right?
Yeah, every year, as a nonprofit, we need to raise money, obviously. So years, even before I was involved with the art, they've held a big gala fundraiser to coincide with the Academy Awards every year. So that includes a live stream of the event as it happens on the big screen. Includes a silent auction. We have lots of prizes that local businesses donate for best dressed. We have trivia. People can also guess the winners of each
That's a big
category,
deal.
best actor or best supporting actress, whatever it may be. They put in a ballot, and we draw prizes for randomly give prizes for the winners of those categories too.
I am
surprised
wrong
that-
every time.
Yeah, I was surprised
Because I
how
go to
many
the fundraiser. I love that fundraiser,
Yeah.
and I never even get one right.
Well, keep trying.
Work with me. Work with me. I've
Yeah, I'll
screened
keep
all the
trying.
movies this
Yeah.
year. And
Yeah.
you just did the short docs last week. You guys were
Right, so
screening
and we're
short
still running
documentaries.
those. So right now, the last week and also this week, we're running all the documentaries, the short films rather, the documentaries, the live action, and the animated. 3 separate programs, which includes all 5 nominated films in one program. So depending on what you want to see, check our website for the schedules, but you can see the animated films, live action, etc.
I follow the ones on
Yeah.
streaming, and then when I couldn't find it, and then found them on your schedule, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, we can see them all this year.
Right.
So
I'm trying to.
you get
I'm
with me,
trying to
Melanie.
see
I
him
got the
too.
vote.
We're very proud of the fact that we get those, that we and we've had a really good turnout for the people that want to see those short films.
That's fantastic. Once again, it's a benefit, and the information is also on the website, right?
It
About
is,
doing
yeah.
that?
So essentially, we have our own red carpet. We have a photo booth where people can pause and take their snaps like they do in the real Oscars. We have wine and beer. We
Yeah.
have soft drinks. We have an amazing food vendor this year, Miller Butler, who's going to do a pizza
Oh, no
pop-up.
kidding.
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, where there's a pop-up they're going to do on the parklet that's right out in front of the theater.
Oh, that's wild.
So they're going to set up their pizza ovens and serve food, which is so good.
And there's also Art Duvane right next door.
Art Duvin, we have our little wine bar right next door.
Yeah, so.
And we have some great sponsors who have come through. The Convention and Visitors Bureau of Long Beach is a big sponsor for us. The Port of Long Beach is a big sponsor for us. Lots of Long Beach businesses really help us out this year. Sponsor the event.
Great.
They also show up, and we have regular ticket buyers too. So we have, as of last count, I think we have over 100 tickets sold already.
Yeah.
with 2 weeks to go. So we're hoping to pretty much fill the house. Would be around 250 people.
I went 2 years ago, and it was the best
It's
party.
fun.
Everybody
Yeah.
dresses up. I was surprised by that. It's just a great evening out. If you want,
It is. I'm gonna dust off my tux. So you're
Nice.
gonna, once a year it comes out of the plastic
That's
bag.
really great. Yeah,
That is if I can fit into it this year. You know.
And if you're listening, and it's some great way for you to want to participate, you're helping out a great nonprofit.
Yeah.
You're keeping that theater alive in this neighborhood. And that's so important.
Yeah.
When we lose all kinds of different things every year, something closes down.
Yeah.
I'm loving to see this. And as I mentioned at the top of the show, we've produced, at least I was involved in producing a podcast about Retro Row, and there's a lot information in that podcast about the development of that
Yeah.
street here, 4th Street. in
Amazing
Long Beach.
story. Yeah, it really is.
It's really great.
And the art, was lost in the Great Earthquake, 1933. The building did not look like it does now.
Oh, no kidding.
So the art was opened in 1925. It was called the Carter Theater back then.
Oh, wow.
It did not have the big Art Deco kind of top of it as now. And it was a silent film house, of
Really?
course, as everything was there. Long Beach had lots of silent film houses.
Are there any
Yeah.
pictures?
There are pictures of the front. The inside had a big pipe organ.
Oh, no
Orchestra
kidding.
pit. Because that's
Who knew?
all theaters did in those days, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
The movies didn't have sound, so the organist had to supply the sound. And that went on into the sound era. 1933, Long Beach historians will know that was the big earthquake.
Right.
And much of Long Beach was destroyed, including that building had crumbled.
Wow.
So then the building was sold, became the Lee Theater. Mr. Lee bought it, and they put the kind of the Art Deco streamlined modern look to it,
Sure.
which was very
Yeah.
popular in the early 30s when they
great to
rebuilt
know.
it. And so Jan's team, when they remodeled it, 20 years ago, they used those original 1933 blueprints to remodel it so it would look exactly the same as it did
Nice.
back after the earthquake.
That's sort of what he does well.
Yes, he
It's just
does.
that beautiful touch of putting restoring something to original site or making it look more beautiful.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, so we're in our 101st year this year.
That's amazing.
2026 is 101 years for the art, so we're pretty proud of that.
That is great.
I was going to ask, you have a great program of movies that show in the theater. What sort of effort do you put into programming the theater on a weekly basis, for instance?
Right, so we have an amazing person, Kenna McGill, who does our programming, and she is a film buff. She knows a lot about movies, old movies, new movies, and she's the one that basically puts together our program every month. We do have a board subcommittee that works on programming as well, so with their input, she's the one that puts together, we've revitalized the Rocky Horror, which we still do once a month, right? We do what we call Art at 11, which is Saturday and Sunday shows that are free to our members at 11 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, wow.
And she does a series called After Dark, which are 10 o'clock movies that bring in a really great younger crowd that love to go to movies later. And then she also does sorry, I lost my train of thought.
That's all right. I want to ask you a question about, because you brought up members.
Yeah.
So most people don't realize that you can become a member of the theater, and there are
Absolutely.
benefits to that.
I'm a member of the theater.
There certainly are. So the members are our core. As a nonprofit, they're the core of our financial stability, really. So we have long-time members. We have some brand new members and everyone in between. So our memberships start at just $50 for seniors and students. We call it a silver membership. And then we have different levels of memberships. And with that, you get free admission to the weekend shows. You get other perks as being a gold member. With our platinum membership, which is just $500 a year, you can go to any movie, anytime, at any at any. I was going to say at any place, but no, it's just
You got to go there.
just at the art theater.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so platinum members can
That's
go
a bargain.
just walk in and
Tell me about
it's
it.
Well, and you get a free
incredible
popcorn
bargain.
if you're a member.
Absolutely, that's the most important.
I know
thing.
that one.
And
Yes.
free toothpicks to get it out of your teeth.
Operator standing by.
Yes.
That's so great.
That is great.
Yeah.
Again,
so-
one of those things that I hear from people all the time who are members and didn't realize that a lot of people don't know that about
Yeah.
a movie. You can be a member for a movie theater.
And we, I'm sorry. go
No, I
ahead.
just wanted to go back to the programming aspect
Yep.
again. You do play current movies as well, and sometimes they're maybe a little off the normal of current. But,
We do.
But I've seen a lot of great movies there that just came out, but that's the only place you
Right.
can see it.
Right.
Hold up. Hold for ambulance.
Yes.
Oh, my
we are
ride's
in Long Beach, by the way.
My right.
I saw Marty Supreme just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so we have kind of 2 seasons, which we call our first run season, as you said, which we are able to show all the Oscar contenders. We have an amazing relationship with Netflix, believe it or not.
No kidding.
And we were the only theater in the area to be able to show Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein when it came out last fall. So we had
Wow.
exclusive rights to show Frankenstein in the Long Beach, South Bay area. So it did amazing for
Are
us.
Netflix executives some of your members, I guess?
I
That's
don't know
wild.
that for sure, but we are able to get, that's their model is something. It's hard for us to a movie theater survives sometimes in
Right,
their model.
right.
I don't want to put Netflix down because they're so good to us, but that's our biggest issue is getting people to come to the movie theaters again.
That's wild, and that they're
Yeah.
partnering that.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good. That
I think
Yeah.
they
Streamers
understand
helping
that
out the
people
movies.
love to see the big movies
Yeah.
in theaters.
It's
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
It's a different experience than staying home. For those people that don't do it, when you go out to the movie theater, it's just
Yeah.
watching with people at the same time.
And I just read an interesting article, it might have been in the New York Times, about the so-called Generation Z, the young kids in their 20s, are kind of pushing back on the whole digital
Yeah.
stay-at-home, and they want to come out with their friends and do things socially, and seeing
Yeah.
movies is one of those.
Fine.
So that's one of our pushes, is to get that generation to come out, and that's why we show a lot of later night movies, kind of little oddball films sometimes that you can't see anywhere else.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, just thank you on behalf of the community.
Yeah.
I live on Retro Row, and
Yeah.
it's the center of
Yeah.
all things.
It
It's
is.
super cool. And my daughter's 18 when you were talking about younger people getting into the theater, and she goes to the Art,
Yep.
a couple other independent cinemas around town, and I see that's true. And I've taken her to a couple oddball things, a silent movie that was backed by a soundtrack.
Yeah, so
You know,
that's
kind of
one of our
random
other
stuff.
big things we like to do is take an old silent movie and have live music to it. So we've done a couple of those. We try to do one every 3 or 4 months.
Oh, this one was Radiohead. That's what it was. It was a silent movie backed by
yeah.
a Radiohead
Uh-huh.
album.
And we
that I
also do,
brought
like
them
for
to.
Halloween every year, we do Nosferatu, the great silent film.
Sure,
And we have a
yeah.
live orchestra playing with it. We
Yeah.
had The Passion of Joan of Arc, which is one of the great silent movies of all time. And we had an amazing kind of electronic score that was played live during that.
Yeah.
And those are things that people love and we do really well with. Yeah.
I'd love to do a Mystery Science 3000.
I
Oh,
know.
my gosh.
Because I'd love to be part of that.
I'm
Me
in,
too.
I'm in.
I am in.
Well, we used to do it every year for the Oscars. We would turn the sound down and do that was hilarious.
My wife
I was
can't
made
stand
for
it when
that
I
kind.
watch that at home. I'll sit there and laugh, and
haven't
I'll say
seen it
my
in
own.
years.
I haven't either, but it'd be fun to do it with a movie.
Yeah,
First of
make
all,
fun of things, yeah.
and get a group of comedians to be
Oh,
the
yeah.
actors.
That's a great idea.
I'd volunteer for that.
Yeah,
for
so our
sure.
big Oscars thing is March 15th. Tickets are still available. Sponsorships are available.
And where can they find them?
They can find those on our website, arttheaterlongbeach.org. You can come to the box office and buy them at the theater.
Of course.
And we expect a big turnout. As I said, I dress up. I know I wear my tux, but we have people in jeans and T-shirts. We have people, it's Long
Informals.
Beach.
It really
it's
is.
Long Beach, right?
It's
Dress
everybody.
however you want to dress.
And if you're listening right now, it's next weekend that happens.
2 more weeks.
Hold on. Hold for Boomer.
Yeah, say that again.
Who's he
Sorry about
barking at? Settle down. Kirk Jordan, board president for the Art Theater of Long Beach. Thank you so much for
Yes,
being
my
with
pleasure.
us.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for being here with us today.
appreciate it.
We're so glad that we got a chance to talk to you. Yeah. Really.
That's cool.
great. For those of you, we hope to see you at the party, the Oscar party next weekend. And for
if you're going to go to the party, you need to put this song on before you
really,
go, right?
as you dress up.
Yeah, as you dress up. Sly and the Family Stone, and everybody is a star.
We'll see you next weekend. Thank you so much for joining us.